Hey everyone. Man, I am so discombobulated this week. Crazy stuff all week. You know, when I'm working in the entertainment industry and working in the realm of paying residuals and stuff like that, we've got these quarter end things going on, and my week was all shot because Monday I had to come in. When I usually don't come in Monday, I usually work from home on Monday. But I was told I had to come in all days this week so people can batch checks and I can process them and crazy stuff like that. And but we worked fast, and so my boss tells me, would you work from home on Thursday and Friday instead? So that's what I did. And it turns out, Monday is usually the day I watch my Apple Plus shows. I like to get an early start on them. Right when I log off the computer work, I like to just start on them. But I couldn't do it this week. Because I had to work. But Thursday I tried to do it, and all of a sudden my Roku went down on me. I mean, the internet was working fine, everything, but my Roku went down on me, and I figured out why I did. You don't ever close out a Roku without exiting the app that you're on. I found that I was on YouTube, and I just shut it off. And it took me like an hour to fix things up. I thought that my thing was broke on me, and I had to watch like an hour of it on my computer. And I finally figured out what was going on with my TV, and I put it back on. So I was up from 8 o'clock to like almost 1 o'clock in the morning, just watching these Apple shows, and then I had to read my regular comics, and of course my tonight's exciting read adventure, of course, which we will be talking about here. But heck, man, what a hell of a week! But hey, here's a great weekender. The new Steven Wilson album on Blu-ray. That's gonna be my treat for tonight. All right, let's go on with the books here. Hey, by the way, didn't show you Mark's blacklight Marvel calendar. Of course, there's Daredevil, and he's in the Reborn Again. Just the appropriate month to have a Daredevil month. Man, it's not me to pontificate on other YouTubers, but this kid from Ireland, man, who does this thing called Ranting for Vengeance, he was going off on Daredevil so much. I mean, it's like, come on, kid, really? It's like, I don't think the kid's even old enough to watch Daredevil Reborn Again, man. I feel like what Daredevil did to Bullseye in the first episode, throw him off a freaking roof. Anyway, come on, kid, give me a break. So give you woke, not woke nonsense. Anyway, we have this is our second part of Daredevil. Hold up a second. Oh, I gotta tell you what I'm doing with these books here. You're starting to know about that. Let's shut that off. Holy cow. Continue on with Daredevil. I mean, not Daredevil. I mean, the Avengers from last week. This is the class of 79 and 80. These were Avenger comics I remember reading in my sophomore year of high school, and other fancy fleets of progress back then. Is like, I think it was the first time I really asked out a girl to see Yes over Madison Square Garden in September of 1980 that year. She said yes. Of course she said yes. And I asked her at the tail end of our sophomore year that the concert wouldn't take place until our July year in high school. But until in between then, we went and saw Alice Cooper over To Be Young and in Love. That woman I took out on a date, her daughter ended up being an actress, and she acted opposite Tom Cruise in the second Jack Reacher film. Oh, jeez. And I hope some of you are watching that show on Amazon or Reacher. That's the real, honest, true Reacher you'll ever see depicted. Not Tom Cruise, who's about the same height as me. So anyway, 5 minutes of this. Okay, so issue 190. 190's it's called Heart of Stone, and it was scripted by Stephen Grant, who is currently my friend on Facebook. Pretty cool. And this is called the Heart of Stone, and fortunately it's part 1 of 2. Part 2 I do not have. Well, let's assemble what's going on here. And John Byrne, one of the few issues, John Byrne penciled a handful of these with Dan Green, including the most famous one. I think it's worth a few bucks now. Is I think 187 or 185, where where I think Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver find out that Magneto's her dad. Here we go. It opens up with Meteor makes an impossible turn in midair and crashes through the marshes of Brooklyn's Jamaica Pier. The rocky shape changes, hatches, and transforms into a stone behemoth and begins marching towards Manhattan. Bum, 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 and there he comes, right out of the marsh. In the Manhattan courthouse, the Avengers arrive for a Senate hearing into their activities. Then N.E.S. Elias and Henry Gyrick has declared the team to be a security threat and is demanding their dissolution. After fighting their way through a mob of reporters, they enter the hearing chambers and find Gyrick awaiting them. Smugly confident that he will get his way, Matt Murdock acts as the team legal counsel just in time for your new show's premiere. Matt Murdock. Matt Murdock. Yeah, had a little hair too red there. Mr. This is Glennis. Who called it? Oh, Mr. Ben Shane, whatever. A little too much red in that hair. Let's see. So, out in Brooklyn subway station, the rocky behemoth smashes through the ticket booth and jumps down into the darkness of the subway tracks. It continues its unstoppable march into Manhattan. At the Senate hearing, opening statements are made. Murdoch mentions several adventures from the team's history to emphasize the team's importance in defending the world. However, one of the committee members overseeing the hearing dismisses this defense, stating that these new instances are in the past and the committee are inclined to agree with Glinch's claim that the team is an inherently dangerous enterprise. Glinch calls his first witness SHIELD operative Lieutenant Dwight Stanford. Saturday night. Now, all new Super Friends, which I'm working on the Blu-ray edition of my Saturdays, part of my Coatney's Cartoon Cluster Fs. And Spider-Woman debuted that year, and I have since rewatched these shows. Maybe it was on Hulu that was on. I don't know, many years back I did. Okay, so boring legalese, what do you think? What is this, Law and Order? The Stone Monster crashes a SWAT blockade of the subways. And back at the hearing, Gyrick is giving testimony of his own experience with Avengers security when Iron Man gets word of an NYPD request for assistance. He asks for the hearing to be rescheduled. Gyrick accuses the team of making up the attack as a PR stunt. Captain America is about to get into a verbal spat with Gyrick, but a bailiff draws everyone's attention to a TV set showing news reports of the attack, confirming it is for real. No? Hey, all right, AB's, who is CBS, right? Yeah, this should be CBS's Saturday morning circa 1979. Tarzan, Filmation's Tarzan and Batman and the Freedom Force was on during that time. Okay. All new Popeye, and of course Ralph Bakski's Mighty Mouse, which he got into a lot of trouble with the was it FCC? Okay, so before the Avengers can take off, however, Beast interrupts and suggests that perhaps Gyrich is right and the Avengers aren't needed. He hands Gyrich a table leg and suggests he takes care of it. After silently watching the news footage of the Stone Behemoth plow through police forces, Gyrich gives in and the Avengers take off. After the Avengers have gone, Matt Murdock slips out to change into his costume persona of Daredevil and joins up with the Avengers. So the Avengers and Daredevil confront the Stone Menace and appear to defeat it. The simultaneous blow from Iron Man and Vision shatters the creature, and Iron Man needs to investigate the rubble. When Daredevil warns him, there's a heartbeat under the rubble. Suddenly, Iron Man and Daredevil are transformed into stone statues, and out from the rubble emerges the... Where are you? The Grey Gargoyle. All right. What notes are in here? And the story continues in the next issue, which I do not have, and it's plotted. This story is plotted by Roger Stern and scripted by Stephen Grant. Yeah, Stephen Grant. He did a few bits here and there. Certain milestones for Marvel. Most notably, he wrote the first Punisher miniseries back in 1886. It was a few years after this. I know he's written Captain Action. Oh, I recently read an issue of his he wrote for Valiant. So in defense of the team, Murdock mentions several past exploits, including Egghead's orbital disaster from Avengers number 64, the standoff with Ultron at the UN building, Avengers 67 through Avengers 68, and their battle with Graviton, Avengers 156 through Avengers 159. The Stone Behemoth is revealed to be a makeshift space capsule composed of meteorite rock used by the Grey Gargoyle to return Earth. He's been stranded in outer space and presumed killed in Thor issue 259. Okay, the cover is emblazoned with the tagline, "Something evil this way comes," which is a takeoff of the Ray Bradbury novel, "Something Wicked This Way Comes." And this issue contains an advertisement for Snow Hostess Snacks featuring Spider-Man. Did we pass by that? Let's check that out. Oh, that's a nice shot by Vision, decking out the Grey Gargoyle as monster form. Yeah, the artwork is great from John Byrne. Oh yeah, check it. June Jitsu. Wow, she sort of looks like Shashan, or Charlotte Ball from Silver Surfer. Okay, we got last Monday's read out of the way. And we are, well, I didn't have the second part, but I do go to Pearl in Pittsburgh. Now, there's something really funny about this story. I can't wait to reveal to you. And the notes don't make any note of it, but I will show you in the final issue. Yeah, so this is like the next three Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays are sort of connected in some way. And this is called the Steel City Nightmare. This is from February 1980, which would be release date would have been November of 1979. Let me see. It's called. All right. So, Tony Stark has gone to Pittsburgh to investigate a steel plant that he is considering buying. Since the plant was formerly owned by Simon Williams, he has invited Wonder Man to join him as his guest. Tony is curious as to why the mill owner, Vincent Paretta, is so anxious to sell it, given that it is a prosperous business. Okay. In the page. There's something wacky that happens. Okay, an accident almost occurs. One of the crucibles begins spilling, threatening several workers. Tony wants to sneak away and change to his armor, but Iron Man has had hit a shutdown switch right away and grabs Tony's briefcase to throw at it, unaware this is where Tony keeps his armor. Fortunately, though, Iron Man managed to shut down the plant before a catastrophe takes place. Oh yeah, that was amusing. Okay, there's a. Hey, wait a second, dude. You know what's in? That's my. Oh wait, I can't tell you that. Oh no, Simon, no, you can't. I'm sorry, Tony. And geez, it's a bullseye. Right there, man. A bullseye hits, and everyone is safe, of course. But fortunately, in the aftermath, the plant workers talk about the excitement. One worker, Joe Conroy, reminisces that Thor once used the plant to patch up his damaged hammer, Mjolnir. The worker reveals that Thor left behind a small fragment of Ural metal, which the worker fashioned into a keychain. Okay. But it becomes apparent that another worker, Tim Turpin, bears some sort of grudge against him. His co-worker utters a veiled threat to him. Sometime later, Turpin knocks Conroy off a catwalk into a crucible full of molten lead below. Turpin's colleagues covered for him, claiming that Joe has lost his balance and fell in. He is assumed to be dead. At Avengers Mansion, that's a nasty piece of business, man. Can you imagine that? Holy cow. To be tossed into nothing but lava, I mean, what a fiendish way to freaking kill somebody. It's inhumane. It's just, and the synopsis doesn't really focus on what a hell of a way to rescue people here. You're in a pressing press or whatever, but Tony Stark, without his iron armor, pulls it off. Okay, so here Avengers Mansion. A visitor tries to gain access by using a MasterCard. The security coils truss him up. When he's questioned, he says he's trying to get the Avengers to solve a noise complaint. If Garrick angrily dismisses the man, but admits he is satisfied with the mansion's security protocols, finally, and departs. Yeah, I don't know what that mystery is about. Who is this guy who tries to get into an Avengers card? And, it's denied. Injuries. Yeah, this stuff happens to me at work, too, with my key card, believe it or not. I got a key card that always malfunctions on me in the elevator. It's always, I got to punch the crap out of it in the elevator sometimes to get it to flash that green light saying it's a go. So, all right, having been emancipated from Garrick's total control, the Avengers, under Captain America's leadership, try to bring back the former members back to active duty, hoping to mend fences. Falcon offers to call Hawkeye, but the Archer's phone has been disconnected. Jan calls up Hank, who claims to be enjoying the opportunity to do pure research and doesn't want to be a full-time Avenger just now. Beast then suggests they bring back Wonder Man, which everyone agrees to. Meanwhile, Wanda says goodbye to the Vision and takes her leave for the time being. I totally forgot what that subplot was about. With Wanda leaving Vision in the lurch, and but this is the main stuff here. So back in Pittsburgh, the steel mill makes a metal slab as a memorial to the fallen employee, but the memorial slab suddenly bursts open to reveal Inferno, Wonder Man, and Iron Man. Now that Tony has retrieved his armor, try to take down the fiery behemoth, but it proves to be a strong adversary. Yep. Boo-boo, free, I'm free, just like those eaglets in Big Bear. Bursting out of that, they call it pipping. The egg is starting to hatch. It's called pippin. Yeah, I know. You've seen those three eagles? You've seen those? Man, those eagles, man, they bring back all sorts of fun stuff for them to eat, like a duck. I think today you could see a duck's bill in the nest with them, and the carcass of the duck, and there was the fish, and then there was there's some good eating up there, and those snow-covered trees and up in Big Bear. Okay, so back at the mansion. Yeah, Wonder Man's just can't get the job done. Back at the mansion, Jarvis and Miss Marvel are on monitor duty and receive an alert signal from Wonder Man. While Miss Marvel is informing Cap of the alert, she mentions that Wonder Man's alert, which can only be activated either from the mansion or if it's destroyed, has gone dead. Okay, so notes. John Conroy found the Uriel fragment after Thor's visit to Pittsburgh in Journey to Mystery 127, issue 127. Upon his death, the Uriel reanimates and mutates Conroy into Inferno. MasterCard is not considered sufficient proof of identity to enter Avengers Mansion, apparently. Although Cap was only supposed to serve as an interim chairman while Iron Man was preoccupied with personal matters, he remains the de facto team leader. In Volume 1, 197, Iron Man will officially cede the position to Cap's full time. And while Hawkeye's absence is explained by his new job at CTE, Hank begs off Avengers duty to concentrate on his research work. This is later contradicted during the trial of Hank Pym's storyline, when Hank relates to a psychiatrist how humiliated he felt that Wasp was retained as an Avenger while he was expulsed. The Scarlet Witch takes a leave of absence beginning this issue. It is revealed here that Jarvis's butler duties can sometimes extend to monitor duty, except to just recently when Gyrick insisted Avengers always be on duty. This issue contains an advert for Hostess Twinkies featuring Mr. Fantastic versus the Gold Digger, and there we have it. Yeah, Mr. Fantastic is he's hawking his Twinkies ware. Or the cupcakes? Who knows? But it's not known if Mr. Fantastic is he a cupcake fan or a Twinkies fan? Does this stuff keep him busy at the lab at night or what? You might have a classic case of the munchies from all that science invading his head. But in lieu of a letter column, this issue contains a brief essay on the history of Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, and the decision to retcon their parentage a second time, including a bibliography of back issues the writers used for research. Oh yeah, that was really weird. I don't know what I was reading about. It was something about why they came to the conclusion that Magneto should be their real dad and whatnot, and just a long yawn essay. Okay, so Wednesday night. Let me see. So now I read the second part of this issue was 193, and it takes place in, it's called Battleground Pittsburgh, written by David Michelinie. The Pittsburgh Comics Club, we don't know what they are. Sal Buscema did the layouts with work by Dan Green, and Jim Solocup and Jim Shooter were editors. I don't know what Jim Solocup is up to these days. I think he was working at Paper Cuts when I last heard. Okay, so in Pittsburgh, Iron Man and Wonder Man are facing off with a new menace, Inferno, who has been just destroyed Wonder Man's signal device to summon the Avengers. Both of them are repulsed by the angry Molten Menace. Inferno stalks a terrified Tim Turpin, the co-worker who caused Jim's Conroy's death. He causes the murder's own demise when he's crushed by a drifting barge. Just before he dies, Turpin sees Joe's Conroy's prized U2 fragment embedded in Inferno's hand, and Turpin realizes who he is dealing with as he dies. That was quite a scene here. Let's get to that scene. Hope you see that clue there. That's when he was talking about that. Let me see. Oh my God, that was hell of a heck of a death. Okay, so Inferno's chasing this dude across the docks, and wow, I mean this is almost something out of Game of Thrones. Oh, Rom, man, what a pain in the ass he was. I swear that Marvel was on this huge Rom kick. I mean, there's like ads ads ran for like a whole year. Just buy Rom's book, for Christ's sake. Buy the toys. Let's not make a movie on it though, or an animated series. But yeah, oh, jeez, this guy just fell, and the barge just ran him into a wall. Man, that's some evil Game of Thrones shit right there. Oh boy. Okay, the rest of the Avengers arrive and join Iron Man and Wonder Man in combat against the creature who is menacing motorists on the Liberty Bridge. I've never been to Pittsburgh, so I do not know the layout of the place. I had a friend, a neighbor who lived in Pittsburgh. He went back there for a while, but it got so damn cold he couldn't take the winters anymore after living 30 years in Southern California. You go back to Pittsburgh and you got to deal with the freaking weather out there. No, I'd be dead if I did that. If I went back to New York or New Jersey, I can't handle the winter anymore. My skin breaks out and stuff now in hives. So stalking across the city, Inferno overturns a cable car to distract the pursuing Avengers. The Avengers team stops their pursuit long enough to save the lives of the car's passengers before once again going after the flaming creature. And it is quite the battle royale on the bridge there. Here's a little cameo of the melee here. And Wasp, ineffective. Yeah, I don't know what the Wasp was gonna do. I mean, you're a gnat. Here's the cable car. It's like the same system we have in downtown LA called Angel's Flight. You've heard of that? They based the whole season of Bosch around it. Inferno's real target is revealed to be the steel mill worker Vincent Peretta. Inferno corners the fleeting Peretta at his home. When he holds out his hand to Peretta, showing him the Euro fragment, the mill owner realizes it is Joe Conroy and panics. He confesses that he was in debt to the Magia. You gotta pronounce it. You say mafia, but Marvel is the Magia. I hope that's right. I used to call it the Magia, but I don't think that's right either. Which necessitated the urgency to sell the mill. Peretta also admits that he knew Conroy was suspicious and ordered Turpin to kill him. And yeah, look! You see what I'm talking about? A Rom writer. Or is that is that a Cyclone from oh, I'm sorry. It's the Cyclone from Battlestar Galactica. Looks like Ron. So here's the melee here that occurs when he topples over a cable car. The Avengers have to rescue everyone out before everybody burns their knickers, and they got to. Here's um, Inferno circling around his prey. Okay, so the Avengers arrive just in time to hear Preda's faithful confession. Cap corrals him and warns him that he will be going to jail for what he did. Yeah, well, yeah, he was running these betting pools or something. He was using as a front for the organized crime, but he was doing his own little rackets on the side with the workers, and they're doing these illegal gambling and all stuff like that. The guy who turned into Inferno was, I guess, this guy was scared that he was going to rat out to him and into the cops, or the Nigeria themselves. So, having achieved his vengeance, the fiery Inferno feels no need to feels